How's everybody doing? Today we are on day 4 of the 30-day wholesale challenge. And today we're going to talk about the different niches that you can think about when you are investing in real estate, okay? And then we'll talk about which ones are best for wholesaling. And you can pretty much wholesale with all but one of these. And I'll explain all those as we go. But the first thing we're going to talk about is fix and flip properties. And fix and flip is basically the process of buying a property for under market value, fixing it up into sort of like new, but whatever year you're in, 2020 right now. So we would fix the property up to 2020 condition and standards and preferences, and then we would put it back on the market and sell it for retail value, and then making the profit in between. Okay, the second niche I want to talk to you about is the buy and hold niche. And what buy and hold is when an investor purchases a property with the intention of renting it out and creating passive income. Okay, so they're going to be looking at that a little bit differently than they would a fix and flip property. Your income and your profits are going to be a percentage value and not an actual lump sum of cash. Okay, they're going to be looking for a percentage of what they have into the property every year in order to get their return. Okay, the next one I want to talk to you about is a subject to property. When you're first starting out, my suggestion to you would be to stick with your fix and flip or buy and hold properties. Once you've established yourself and you've done a couple deals, then maybe branch out into subject to. They are a little more labor intensive and they are a little bit more nuanced in what you can and cannot do. So let me explain what it is. What a subject to property is, you are buying the property subject to or with the financing already in place. And in this case, you would most likely put the property into a land trust with you as the beneficiary or your investor as the beneficiary. Okay, the financing that is on the property would stay in place, but the investor would now be making the payments instead of the seller. Now the financing would still be in the name of the seller for the most part, unless the loan is assumable, in which case your investor would have to qualify for that loan. So that is what a subject to is. Now, owner financing is when the seller owns the property free and clear, and they then become the mortgage holder, where you can sometimes get these properties for a smaller down payment and make the payments to the seller, whatever they decide between the seller and the investor. Sometimes these are done with a 5-year balloon. Sometimes these are done with a longer term. However, the seller is then holding the mortgage on the property, so your investor would be making the payments to your seller. Okay, another option would be your lease options. Another niche would be lease options. And what a lease option is when a seller will lease the property to the investor with an option to purchase after a period of time. Most of these have longer term leases, sometimes 5 years. And at the end of that 5 years, or the end of that lease term, they then have the option to purchase the property or move on. Okay, they can purchase sooner than that, but they have that option when that lease term is complete. Okay, most lease options are going to require a higher deposit, and that deposit then becomes non-refundable. Okay, and the last niche I want to talk to you about is wholesale. Wholesale is different from wholesale in the fact that the investor or the wholesaler will actually close on the property and then put it back on the market and sell at a retail value, thereby making the profits in between. Okay, so those are the different niches in real estate investing that I want to talk to you about today. For your homework tonight, I want you to pick a niche that you want to work in. Okay, my suggestion when you're first starting out is to pick fix and flip. You can, however, pick buy and hold or some of the others, but those are going to require more work. So if you're looking to get your first deal under contract and get your feet wet a little bit and make sure this is something you want to be doing, then my suggestion would be to do fix and flip properties. They are much easier to sell. There are a lot more investors out there looking for them. And there you go. So once you've completed your homework, I want you to comment below, #homework complete, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.